Hi, so this is just a really nice session to help us open up our hip flexors, really release some of that tightness that we have deep into the hips there. So we're actually going to start on our knees. So just taking a nice cushion, placing it between the knees, just allowing the bum to come and sit gently down, just growing nice and tall with our spine. Just gently placing the backs of our hands onto the thighs. And we're just going to spend a few breaths allowing ourselves to check in. Lovely deep breath in. Lovely full exhale. Allow the body to settle and sink into this position. Bringing about a lovely natural breath. And just giving ourselves an opportunity to quieten the mind, bring some stillness to the body. Let go of anything we're worrying about, particularly events that may have already happened that we can no longer change. Really feeling that tailbone connecting down into the earth. Allowing any tension to release from the tongue that we may be holding on to. Just letting that tongue rest gently in the mouth. And beginning now just to wiggle those fingers. Deepen the in-breath. And just gently open the eyes and come back into the room. Ready to start our practice. Sorry, cat trouble. So just staying in this position if we can, if this still feels comfortable. I'm just going to lift the hands up, inhaling, hands come to touch. Exhaling, right arm comes down, just reaching over with the left arm. Lovely stretch. Inhaling, rising back up. Exhaling, opposite side. It's working into the side of the hip. Few more. Just moving with your own wonderful breath. And coming to rest after we've done even sides. As we exhale this time, right hand comes down to the left knee, left hand comes just behind us. Maybe it doesn't touch the floor, just a very gentle twist. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling over to the right, left hand comes to right knee. And just keep flowing. Moving with the pace of your breath, allowing the breath to guide the movement. And then just coming back to center, big inhale, reaching up through the sides of the body, out of those hips. Little wiggle, exhale, open the arms and release. Lovely. And just lifting up, moving that cushion. We're just going to come into a nice tabletop. We're going to do some hip circles. Just moving those hips. Circles as big or as small as feels comfortable. Just beginning to really allow those hips to open. And reverse in that direction. One more. Going back to center. So this time, as we inhale, we're going to drop the hips towards the floor, lift the chest up towards the sky, keep the arms straight. Exhale, sending those hips back a little bit. Inhale, drawing the hips forward towards the earth, looking up to the sky. Exhale, sending the hips back. One more. Inhale, lowering the hips towards the earth, arms stay straight, chest lifts, gaze. Exhale, coming back. Lovely, little shake it out of those hips. Walking the hands forward a little bit, tucking those back toes. We're just going to lift up those hips towards the sky. Keep the knees bent to begin with. Then we're just going to pedal out the feet. Just easing off the back of the legs. Gently easing into the hips. Just allowing the body to open. And then lifting those heels nice and high, nice big inhale. As we exhale, drawing the energy down through the back of the legs, sending those heels towards the earth. Chest draws through towards the thighs. Finding some stillness in our downward dog. Then we're going to lift the heels nice and high, looking up towards the hands. Big inhale. And as we exhale, step or draw that right foot forward in between the hands. Pushing through the back heel, lowering that back leg. Either keeping the toes tucked or untuck the toes, whatever feels good for you. And then we're just going to allow those hips to sink forward towards the earth. So you might need to move that knee, that left knee back a little bit. We're just creating a bit of space in this area. And we're allowing that left front hip to open. Right hip comes into flexion. Onto the fingertips. That gives us a little bit more space to lift the chest through. And we're just breathing here. Staying with a nice steady breath. The hips really like time. Slow time. There's no rush, nowhere to be. Keeping a lovely steady breath. We're just here in our low lunge. Just allowing that hip to sink down. So as we exhale, maybe it sinks a little bit lower. And you feel that front left hip opening up, making some space. We're going to take a lovely deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those hips back, straightening out that right leg. Lifting the foot off the ground, keeping the heel. Just allowing the stretch to come into the back of the hamstring. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, drawing the hips back. A few more with your own breath. Last one, inhale, coming forward. Lovely long slow exhale as we come back. Coming forward again. Placing those hands nice and connected with the earth. Tuck that back toe. Lift that back knee. Little rock back. Step that right foot back. Coming into our downward dog to transition. One full breath here. And lifting the heels up nice and high, looking towards the hands, and then stepping forward with that left foot in between the hands. However we need to get there. Pushing through the back heel, dropping that back knee again. Option to keep the toes tucked or untuck the toes. And then we're just allowing those hips to sink forward towards the earth. Exhaling down that right front hip. Lift the chest nice and high onto our fingertips. Draw the shoulders down, away from the ears. And we're just spending a few breaths here, just allowing this front hip to really sink towards the earth. Again, just taking our time. There's no hurry to be any deeper, to change our position. Just letting go of all of that tension in the right hip. We're going to take a lovely long deep inhale. And as we exhale, drawing those hips back, straightening that left leg, lifting up the toes towards the sky. The body comes down to the side. Inhale, coming forward. Back into our low lunge. Exhale, drawing the hips back. Moving with your own pace of breath. And just noticing if this side feels tighter or any differences from the last side. And then just coming forward again, lifting through the chest, just dropping those hands fully onto the mat, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, little rock back, stepping back into our downward dog. Just taking another full breath here to release those hips out. Feel the hips drawing open back. Then we're going to bring the knees down into the mat. Widen the knees out. Big toes come together, sinking the hips back and down. Chest comes towards the floor. Hands walking them out in front of us. Coming down into our wide. I forgot what this is. Child's pose. Forehead comes onto the mat. We're just going to take a few nice breaths here. Just allowing the back of the hips to sink back and down. So sending our breath all the way down the spine into those hips. Few lovely long, slow exhales, sending the energy down to clear out the back of the hips, removing any stagnant energy, any dark spots, allowing that tension to release. Last breath. Drawing the hands back in towards the knees and slowly rising back up to sitting. Drawing those knees in. Coming back into our tabletop position. So we're going to do a little bit of pigeon pose, but we're going to do it slightly differently to how we normally do it in class. So nice cushions. And we're just going to do a supported pigeon pose. So coming into our tabletop, we're going to draw our right knee forward towards our right wrist. Feet pointing back towards the left knee. And then we're going to allow that left leg just to draw away from the body. Sending the hips down towards the earth. Before we get into the position and get comfortable, we're going to bring a cushion. So quite a big cushion if you've got one, or a couple of cushions. We're just going to bring that underneath that right thigh. So supporting the hip, supporting the knee. And then allowing that left leg just to draw back a little bit further. Hands just planted onto the mat. Gaze just beyond the hands. And just allowing the left front hip to really sink down towards the earth. It's quite a passive one, this, with the cushion. So just allowing ourselves to really settle in and sink down. Then we're just going to start walking the hands out in front of us. And we can use some more cushions here. If you want to really make this a very relaxing, just oozy pose. We're just going to walk the hands down, bringing down the elbows. And then we can just allow the whole body to relax onto that cushion. And just really sinking down. Lovely, slow, long out breaths. Just finding a nice, comfortable position for you. Where you can really just allow those hips to settle in. Feel grounded. Feel steady. Taking the time just to rinse it all out. Let it all go. And as we exhale, just feel everything sinking down. Everything's connecting with the earth. Last breath. We're beginning slowly now, very slowly, just lifting ourselves up and out. We've used the cushions, we move the cushions out of the way. Lift up that right hip, the cushion come out. And then I'm going to draw that left knee back in slightly, send that right knee back. Little ease out of the hips from side to side. Opposite side, left knee comes forward towards the left wrist, toes point back towards the right knee. Releasing out that right leg, stretching it away from the body, bringing our cushion to come under the left thigh now to support that left hip, that left knee. Just repositioning ourselves. Chest is lifted, hips begin to sink down. Feel that left hip now fully supported by the cushion. Keeping the left neck nice and long, so gaze is just beyond the hands, towards the top of the mat. And then we're going to begin lowering down again, coming down lower onto the mat, and just allowing the body to sink away, resting on the cushion if we're using it, if not, just resting on the floor. And really letting the right front hip now sink down towards the earth. Feel it opening. Release any tension from the top half of the body. Let the shoulders go. Let the chest sink down. Use that exhale, that out breath to sink deeper and deeper. Feel yourself allowing things to just be let go. We're no longer holding on to anything that we don't need. We're no longer holding on to anything that doesn't serve us. And using our beautiful cleansing breath to help release us down. And then one final exhale. Beginning now to use that in breath to draw us back out. Removing the cushion. I'm going to draw that right knee back in towards the body, lifting up that left hip, removing the cushion, and just sending that left foot back into our tabletop, little rock from side to side. I'm just going to draw the knees together, feet together, sending the hips back and down, coming down, lowering the head, chest onto the floor. If the head doesn't quite make it, use one of the cushions just to support it. Arms come behind us, palms facing up, and just rest gently by the feet. Let the shoulders melt away. Let the hips settle in. And again, just sending a lovely long exhale down into the back of the body, down through the spine, into those hips. Allowing yourself to notice and feel any changes that might have happened. Noticing any differences in how we feel, not just physically, but also emotionally. Really let the shoulders go. Just enjoy this wonderful restful pose. And then gently bringing the hands to the knees and rising up lovely and slowly to sit. Lovely. A couple of more poses and then we'll just come down and fully relax. So stretching the body out all the way, nice and flat on the front. Using the cushion, we're going to bring it just underneath our rib cage, so into the belly, underneath the rib cage. Bringing the elbows out in front, hands flat out onto the mat. Gaze is just in between the hands, nice and long neck. Feet stretched away from the body, coming into our Sphinx pose, a little bit of support. We're just going to let those hips connect into the earth. Let the front two hips ground into the earth. Let the back of the hips go. Release any tension from the shoulders. And again, just using that wonderful out breath just to find some stillness in our Sphinx pose. Just allow the lower back to feel open. Close the eyes if that feels nice. Finding some wonderful stillness here. Last breath. Then just walking the hands up, lifting those feet, hips open back a little bit, just moving the pillow. We're then just going to come and lie onto our back. So bringing the knees into bent position, feet come towards the body. Just let the spine settle down. Little rock of the shoulders. A little tuck of the chin, arms come out to the side of the body, palms facing up. Just let the lower back settle. Spine. Just find its center position. We're going to come into a supported bridge, so have your cushion handy still. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the hips, lift the belly, lift the chest. And then going to bring that cushion underneath the back of the hips. And then just let it sink back down. And then we're just going to settle into our supported bridge. So feel free to stack a few cushions here if we want to lift the hips a little bit higher. So the higher the hips are, the wider the angle that we receive at the front of the hips. So just play around with stacking a few cushions just to find that really nice position where we can allow some time just to let the body sink into a really still state of peacefulness. Spending as long as you would like here. And then inhaling, just lifting those hips up, removing the cushion. And we're going to come down for our final relaxation. So we're going to finish tonight in Supta Baddha Konasana. So bringing the soles of the feet together and just allowing those knees to drop out to the side of the body, letting gravity take hold. You can do this with a little bit of support from pillows. So you just place them under the thigh and then it allows the legs to rest onto the pillows. You can do that on both sides. So just really finding our most comfortable supported position where we can just allow the body time to absorb our practice. And either bringing our hands just out from the body, palms facing up, Or if there's a place you feel called to place the hands, bringing them back in towards the body and allowing them to rest gently into whichever spot they feel called to. So just working with what you feel like you need in this moment. And just allowing the body now time to really finally let everything go. The face melt away as we exhale. Allow the tongue to be heavy and sink to the back of the mouth. Feel the shoulders releasing any last tension. Feeling the hips open, free. Feel that tension melting away as the legs become heavy and draw you closer to the earth. And just staying with your own sensations now. Staying with your own emotions. Allowing the natural rhythm of the breath just to bring you into a state of complete bliss. Total relaxation. Beginning now just to gently increase that in-breath. Bringing the hands to either sides of the thighs and drawing those knees up towards each other, nice and slowly. A little rock of the knees from side to side. Drawing the knees into the chest, give ourselves a little hug. Gently rolling over onto one side and just staying here for one final extra breath, supported by the earth. And then bringing ourselves back up to sitting and just finding that comfortable seat. And feel free to stay in that final relaxation as long as you like. Namaste. I hope you enjoy that. Remember to use as many cushions as you've got. So it's really all about just allowing the hips support and sinking into the earth. And every out breath, we're just imagining that tension coming out of the hips, releasing it down into the earth's energy to be absorbed, allowing us to feel spacious and free, and hopefully a little bit more flexible.